Okay, great. So I think we can get through question 66 all the way to whatever, I think 70 or maybe whatever 69, this batch of questions. And we're in absorption costing land right now. We're in absorption costing land. So what do we have here? We make two products, A and B. Annual production and sales are respectively 20,000 and 40,000. And these are the overheads. We literally have to pretty much split these overhead costs based on the activity drivers. So these are the things that are driving them. This could have been whatever quality inspections, and this could be production setups. The key point here is we have 12,500 of these quality inspections and 12,500 of these quality inspections, and therefore we have 25,000 quality inspections causing a cost of 75 grand. So I mean, there's several ways I could look at this. I could just sort of do A and B, and you have to do them in totals, really. So the key point, I know that this is split half and half. I mean, you could find what it is per, you could say, well, Oyen, technically you could find out many things. You could say, okay, I'm going to say the 75,000 over the total of 25,000. So therefore, it is £3, if you like, per quality inspection, for example. So therefore, for 12,500, you multiply 3 times 12,500. That's the theory. But the key point is I'm splitting this into two, right down the middle, right? So that's 75,000 divided by 2, and that's 37,000. So for cost pool 1, that's 37,500, and that's 37,500. That's for cost pool 1. And then for cost pool 2, you see here it's telling you have 6,000 here, 4,000 here, if you like a total of 10,000. So ultimately you're looking at 60% of the costs go to A. So 60% of these costs are for A, so that's 60,000, and that's 40,000. And here I have, again, 30% of the costs go to A and 70% of the costs go to B. So 30% of 50,000. Here we have 15,000, and here we have 35,000. So that's what we sort of have. So actually, I have done this without reading the question. The cost driver rate for cost pool 1 is greater than the cost driver rate for cost pool 2. So let me find the cost driver rate for cost pool 1. I found that already. The cost driver rate for cost pool 1 is 75,000 divided by 25,000. Now that's £3. What's the cost driver rate for cost pool 3? Well, I'll just find all of them. So here it's 100,000 divided by 1,000. So that's 10. So cost pool rate here 3, cost pool rate here 10, cost pool rate here 5. So let's see. The cost driver rate for cost pool 1 is greater than cost pool 3. No, this is 3, this is 5, so this is wrong. The cost driver rate for cost pool 2 is less than, no, this is 10. Cost pool 2 is 10, this is 5, so this is wrong as well. Product A will absorb 12,500 of cost pool 2. Product A, no, is 60,000, so this is wrong. Product B will absorb 20,000 more of cost pool A, pool 3A than it would have split this cost pool, and you have 20,000 more of B than A. That's what this is saying, and this is true. You can see that's 35 and that's 15. So the answer here is D. So always, I guess, read the question. I've just gone ahead and done a number of things. Here we have company manufactures water pumps assembled from bought-in components. All components are inspected before release. Each assembled pump is inspected. Pump X contains 6 separate components. Pump X contains 6 separate components. Right, and so requires 7 inspections per unit. Alright, and it says they carry out 8,000 inspections each month, so that means they carry out 8,000 inspections times 12 each year, because it tells us what the cost is for the whole year. So I'm going to go, well, 8 times 12 is 96, so I have 96 and 3 zeros. So I have 96,000 inspections for the year, and I have a total cost of 720,000. So therefore, I can find out what the inspection cost is, the cost of each inspection, which is 720,000 divided by 96,000, which is £7.50. So the cost of each inspection is £7.50, but it says that each component requires 7 inspections per unit, which is what this is asking for. So I need to multiply this by 7, and that takes me into £52.50. That's question 67. Okay, great. And let's look at what's happening here. Be careful with we always read these things very carefully. They're really cheeky. So a municipal authority has a team of building inspectors which carry out pre and post inspections. Pre and post inspection. So post. The total cost of the building inspection is 150,000. Okay, 150,000. Timesheets have been used to identify that 60% of these costs relates to pre-inspection. So 60% of this 150,000 is here. We have 90,000, and of course the other 40%, which is therefore 60,000, relates to post inspection. And during that year, 1,500 inspections were carried out, of which 1,200 are pre-inspections. So you have this. So 1,200 are pre, therefore 300 are post, because the total is 1,500. What should the cost driver rates be for each of these separate departments? So this is what you have here. So for pre-inspections, you will have 90,000 divided by 1,200, and for post-inspections, you will have 60,000 divided by 300, and here you have 200. I can already pick that out and divide this by this. You have 75. Yes, 90,000 divided by 1,200 gives you 75. So your answer is A. So your aim is always, just do it slowly and just be very clear. Our aim is always to kind of map overheads to individual costs, to individual divisions with individual areas, so we don't make any mistakes. So whenever you see a question like this, question 69, and they're telling you, when you see this tells you that once upon a time they had some way of measuring overheads, maybe via labor or machines. So this is typically old school traditional absorption costing. So this is old, right? So now we have a better way of dealing with things. They're telling us that during the year we plan to make that and that in terms of computer screens and computers. I'm sure you're reading this before you get to me. And each screen requires 2 hours of direct labor and 30 minutes of, and the computer printer 30 minutes of direct labor. But the key point here is I have a better way now of dealing with these overheads, is what they're telling me. They've told me now that here are my overheads, all of them. I can actually split them up, and I can do a better analysis of overheads. I mean, these haven't changed. That's the direct material, direct cost for making a product for each one. So what I will do is, let's deal with the overheads, because I want the full cost. That's what they're asking, right? What was the unit cost? So the unit cost is the full cost of the thing. So again, I need to split this. I have 18,000, and I will need 10 setups and 30 setups. So in effect, the total here again is 40. The total here is 3,000, and the total here is 6,000, right? These are totals. So ultimately, I'm trying to reallocate this 18,000 based on this ratio. That's what I'm fundamentally trying to do. And when I do that, here I will have, for the screens and the printers, here I will have 10 over 40 times 18,000, which is 4,500. And I will have 30 over 40 times the 18,000, and here I will have 13,500, right? Because I'm just splitting this cost based on the ratio of the setups. And here I would have a third, and I'd have 2/3. So a third of this cost will come to screens, and 2/3 will come to printers. So here I will have 4,000, and here I will have 8,000. And here I have 4/6 or 2/3 of this, and here I will have 16,000, and here I will have 8,000. So in effect, what I will now have is a total cost of 24,500, and here I will have a total cost of 29,500. So this technically is what I will spread over the 4,000 computer screens, because this is the overhead for 4,000 computer screens, and this is the overhead for 2,000 printers, giving me therefore a overhead of this divided by this of 6.125, and this giving me an overhead of 14.75. This is just the overhead. So now I need to go back and add this just to so I can now get rid of this. This was the old school kind of value, right, based on labor or machines. But now I have a better way. So now I will add material and labor to my overhead, because now I found a better way of measuring overhead. Once upon a time I was using something else, some other measure. So for screens it will be 25 plus 16 plus 6.125. For printers it'll be 15 plus 4 plus 14.75, and that should take you to the good figure of answer of A, right? You'll get, once you do that, this is the nearest pound, so you'd round this up to 15, right, wouldn't you? And so you'd have 34 over here, and then you'd have 47 over there, because you'd get rid of that. Yes, and that will take you to 47. So the answer is A. And that's kind of that's kind of, let's see, is there a 70 or 71? It's a 71, so we'll stop there. And that's kind of your question 66 to 69.